Howdy, everybody. Welcome to the Brother Sister Show, a family-owned and operated podcast where two siblings keep in touch by talking about movies. This week, we're talking about Anthony's pick, The Truman Show. But before we get to that, let's talk about what we watched this week. Anthony, do us the honor.
Well, I've watched the most recent thing is WandaVision. It's out. It's new. The first 2 episodes are on Disney Plus, and now every Friday it'll start. New episodes will come out. I don't really like it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't really like. It's like it's a sitcom, but it's like a I Love Lucy kind of like. It's like mimicking it almost, like very reminiscent, like black and white, and like the jokes are really like obvious. I don't know.
Oh, that's the actual show?
Well, WandaVision?
Yeah, because, okay, so the only thing I've seen about it is that is like I haven't seen any sort of like videos. I've just seen the promos, and I thought they were only dressed like that for the promos.
No, it's like that.
Huh.
I don't really like it, but I know it's gonna get better because it's gonna like we're gonna understand why it's like that. So I'm like kind of just holding on.
I've heard people like it.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the end I'll like the entire season, but right now I'm just like, it's whatever. Not a big fan.
I get that.
But other than that, some good TV. Other good TV I'm watching is Community. Rewatching that just because. What else are you gonna do? What else is there to do?
No other shows to watch at all.
Literally nothing else. And as far as movies, a while ago, I don't know if I mentioned this last episode, but Kayla and I watched Pitch Perfect 2, the second one, because we went to the thrift store and we look for Blu-rays now, and we saw Pitch Perfect 2. I found First Cow. I don't know how.
Did you buy
I need to watch it. Yeah, it's right there on the thing on the shelf. That was a good haul.
Blu-rays.
We got in the one thrift. We got. No, you don't need to get them. It's fine. Thank you. We got First Cow.
Let's do a haul.
Oh, okay. Could you get them, Kayla?
Come on, we have audio. We have audio now.
we have
audio now. We're an audio podcast now. We have video now. Show the people.
I'll show the people. I haven't uploaded those episodes yet. So we got First Cow.
Thank you, producer Kayla.
I don't know. Yeah, thank you, Kayla. I don't know how we found this.
Yeah, that's wild.
There. I don't know. All the movies you'll see, they're like probably from the same person. We got Whiplash.
Yeah, definitely. I love that though. I love when you go to a thrift store and you're like, yeah, this is my guy.
Yeah. Hellboy. I mean, this person's a movie connoisseur.
What if it was your roommate or something?
We got The Mummy, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
Why would you ever give that away?
Ridiculous. And Pitch Perfect 2. And Kayla forgot the most important thing. We got on DVD, not Blu-ray.
Oh.
We got Billy Blank, Tybo.
Dang. Have you started?
No, it's not for me. It's for Mom.
Damn. I used to do Tybo.
I used to do Tybo with Mom.
Yeah.
This is
Billy
Tybo.
Blanks. What is he doing?
I was thinking about that too. Like,
did you look it up?
What do you do after Tybo? There, look it up. I want to mention.
What do you do after you've revolutionized fitness?
After you've peaked.
After you've created fitness. Where do you go from there?
What's Tybo? That's ridiculous. Well, I wanted to mention while you're looking at whatever. I was listening. I've been listening to a ton of MF Doom, like pretty much exclusively. And there's a line where he mentions Billy Blank's Tybo, like specifically. And I was like, it's like he's one of those rappers where you have to listen to his songs like 50 times to even get like one verse. And I think it's Rhymes Like Dimes. One of like the first songs I found of his or discovered, where he mentions Billy Banks, and I've listened to that song like probably hundreds of times since I've like started listening to it, and never once have I heard Billy Banks.
Now you're gonna hear it all the time.
Yeah, I mean, if MF Doom's gonna recognize him, man, you've definitely peaked. What's he doing now?
He has a website. He's still going at it.
Is it like modern?
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, not the branding is kind of, and it's not bad.
So he's still Tyboing it up?
Yeah, I think he is.
Good Shout out to Billy Blanks. Man, imagine if we had him on this podcast.
Oh my God. That's the one get right there. And then we can end it. Truly.
Billy Blank, please come on our podcast. This is a plea. This is a cry. I want you on this podcast.
What would we talk about? He has an IMDb, so we can.
Oh wow. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I would be starstruck. I would talk about how he practically raised me as a child. I'm just playing.
Mark, Irma, and Billy. My parents. Yeah, he's got an Instagram.
I will follow him while you tell me what you watched. What have you watched?
What a wild not segue aside that we just went on. I couldn't think of anything, but right now while I'm working or just doing like projects, I've been rewatching Fleabag. And Anthony, have you seen Fleabag?
I have not. Do I need to?
Yes. I don't like to hype shit up, but Fleabag is truly one of the best shows I've ever seen. And it only has 2 seasons. And I hope so the first season is brilliant. And people didn't think she was going to make another one. But then she graced us with a season 2. And it's even like if season 1 is a masterpiece, season 2 is like whatever the fuck is above that. I don't know. But it's fucking amazing. And I'm so excited because I think the only hype that you truly need is that this is my 3rd time rewatching both seasons.
Wow. 3 times.
And if you know me, you know I don't rewatch anything. I rarely rewatch movies. And yeah, I'm starting on my 3rd time. I'm watching them. I think I'm on like episode 3 of season 2 because it's very British, and then there's only 2 seasons, and every season has like 10 episodes. But they're so fucking good. You and Kayla need to, if you have tomorrow off, or if you have like a day, just start the first season, and then you'll be like, wow, that's truly amazing. How does it get better from here? And then watch second season, and you're gonna get absolutely crushed. It's so good.
I might. That's some pretty good hype right there.
I forgot how good it was until I was like, oh, I'll watch it right now. And I knew the hype when I was like, just right now, I saw that Fleabag was on the like Amazon Prime because I was looking for something for next week. And I was like, yeah, I need to watch all of Fleabag right now. And I'll probably finish season 2 tomorrow.
Is she going to make more?
Probably not. People were asking after the first season because people fucking loved it. If she was going to make another one, and she said no. She said she didn't think so unless there was like a story to be told. And then she figured out a way to tell the story again, or another story on top of it. And then after that, she says probably not. But it's one of those shows where I just want her to keep doing things. But like personally, I think season 1 and 2, like they're just a gift that I don't want anybody to ruin. And
yeah, I get that. Yeah. I feel the same way about Watchmen. Like
I was
that's
just
a perfect
thinking
season.
that it's kind of like maybe if you watch Fleabag, I'll start watching Watchmen.
Deal.
Because if they're I can't. I think Watchmen that's probably the perfect example of 2 things that we absolutely love. Like you are more of the like sci-fi superhero stuff, and I like more of like comedies, but also like it's very funny, but it's also super dark. It's got a lot of like a love story in both of them, like a lot of family stuff, good acting, all that jazz. So yeah, I cannot hype it up enough. And I'm not scared to hype it up this much because I know you're going to love it.
What is it on?
Prime.
Oh, that's right. You were just talking about how you were scrolling.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was compelled to watch it. But yeah, I watched This Is Us and I cried.
Oh, I completely forgot about that.
It was gone for like what it seemed like 2 months.
Yeah.
And then I went on Hulu one day and it was like, well, here's some new episodes.
Ready to cry?
But I haven't cried about it. I haven't cried. I haven't cried while watching it in a while. But the most recent one, I think you're 2 behind if you haven't seen the newer ones. And I cried a lot. And it just reminded me of, there's no spoilers really, but Randall or Sterling, what's his name? Sterling
K. Brown?
Yes. I couldn't remember his name. I always forget how good of a fucking actor he is. He's so good.
Very good.
His crying is like second to none. He is so good at crying. And this time he got me. And they kind of like, well, I'll wait for you to watch it until we talk about it more, but they did something different this time. And I wonder, it made me want to look up who directed the episode because it felt very, very different. But I really liked it. Yeah. I think you'll probably like it. And well, we won't talk about too much. But Sebastian we're gonna like watch shows, or like I think we're gonna watch like shows together where we watch. Shut up. Where we watch
this is
like
groundbreaking right here.
We're going to wait.
Wait
Have
for it.
Tried watching a show. I meant we're gonna watch shows that we love that the other person hasn't seen. We're gonna like show them to each other, and we were trying to figure out shows to watch. And I was like, wait. Have you seen This Is Us? And he said, no. And I said, okay, but do you know anything about it? And he said, no.
What?
And I cannot wait. I'm so excited to watch him watch the first episode.
That means he's never listened to our podcast.
Oh yeah. He doesn't. Well, it's mostly my fault. Like I don't want people to like think he's like a bad boyfriend. He doesn't listen to a lot of podcasts. Like he's just not a podcast person. Well, first of all, it keeps me humble. I really like it that he's not like, a fan, right? But like a fanboy kind of thing.
I love your podcast.
Or just always talking to me about it, because some people will like bring something up, and this doesn't happen a lot, but sometimes if people bring up something that we talked about, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like it leaves. That's
happened to you. That's never happened to me before.
Times.
I know Ricardo's done
that. Which is nice. I mean, I love that, but I just feel bad because I'm like, as soon as we talk about stuff, it leaves my brain. I just don't have capacity to hold the dumb shit that we say. Oh, he likes to listen to like fully listen to the episode, and he doesn't get a lot of time to, fully. And if he does, it's when he's driving, and I always call him when he's driving. And he's like, I always make fun of him because he doesn't listen to them. And he's like, well, you're always calling me. I'm trying to listen.
That's funny.
But yeah. Oh, but I'm excited to see him watch that.
That is cool.
That's really the only thing. I wanted to bring something up.
What's up?
Well, you haven't seen Tenet yet, have you?
No.
I think Christopher Nolan he just wants to terrorize me personally, because when we talked about it though, did I tell you about the audio? How we had it at like 70?
Homer brought it up, I think, where he like some parts you couldn't hear.
Yes.
What people were saying.
Yes. And Sebastian and I watched it at 70, and it was truly the most frustrating movie experience I've ever had. And I learned while listening to a podcast, they were talking about Tenet and how this guy was like, I was trying to, what was his name? The podcast is called Sweet Boys, which is a very good podcast. And I don't remember the host's name, but he was talking about how He was watching Tenet and he couldn't hear anything. He was like, the audio was so strange. And I thought, like, maybe because I rented it on iTunes, like maybe something happened because I've never done that before. And so he just like forgot about it and was like, whatever. And then he tried to watch it again a different time. And he was like, what the fuck is wrong with this audio? And he looked it up, and Christopher Nolan did it on fucking purpose.
Like he didn't want you to hear?
So his whole thing, I should have found the article I read. Because as soon as he said that, I paused the podcast and I was like, I gotta look this shit up because this man, how fucking dare he? So I found that Christopher Nolan wants to find ways to like immerse people into his movies, and his way of doing this was to have the dialogue so low that you have to pay attention because you can't hear what's going on.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I get that.
It's so fucking stupid. And there was this guy that was like, the article I'm talking about is he was writing about, you know, the audio, and he said he saw it in IMAX. And he said that there were certain parts where you could barely hear what they were saying. And then there was other parts where it sounded like the theater was going to blow up because of how fucking loud it was. And he was like, what a dumb way. Like what a stupid thing to do, to say, well, I need people to watch this movie and pay attention. So I'm going to put the fucking explosions at 10 and the dialogue at 1.
It's so like it does the exact opposite. Like it's
demeaning. He's like, hey, stupids, listen.
I feel like it just does the exact opposite of what you want.
Exactly.
Because like I said, I was so distracted. Upset. Yeah. He's beyond our time. We can't even imagine what kind of visionary stuff he's coming up with next. Now it's just going to be like no audio, or it's just going to be only audio. Just imagine what Christopher wants you to think.
I told Sebastian, I was like, now thinking of it, because we were talking about it, and that's when I like read the article, and I was like, this motherfucker, he didn't want us to hear it. And I told him, now that I think about it, I can't remember a single line that was said in that movie.
I mean, in the trailer, I think Robert Pattinson says like something about being dramatic, or I don't know. Now I want to watch this movie even more.
Sebastian I haven't like, really had any. I remember when John David Washington, I think that's his name, he said, I'm the protagonist.
In the movie, he said that?
Well, that's like his name in the movie. They don't ever say his name. Let me see.
Oh.
But yeah, like, I'm the protagonist.
That's a dumb line. I've had no like motivation to watch that movie.
And you truly shouldn't. I mean, and I'm probably not making it any better.
Yeah, but I mean,
it's angering, that movie. And I think it just what makes me so angry about it is that he wanted so badly for people to watch it. Why, Christopher? Why? And there's certain parts where I kind of understand. Well, I don't understand, but like, that's the thing though, is that it doesn't, I guess I'll wait for you to watch it, but it doesn't feel intentional. Like there's this one scene that I know you're already gonna know what I'm talking about once you see it, that the music is like it's so fucking loud while they're talking. So it's not like he just turns the dialogue down. Like I said, he turns the dialogue down and he turns the music like way up.
Man, I wonder if like the sound engineer or whoever like did the audio was like, is this how you want it? And he's like, shut up, I'm trying to listen. Shh. Perfection. And he's like, I can't hear anything. The audio or sound engineer. Wow, that would suck.
But watch, I told Sebastian though, this movie's going to get nominated for best sound mixing. I guarantee it.
I have no comment. I gotta watch it now.
Please watch it. And then, because I need somebody else to like yell about this movie too. But I just, yeah, that's all I had. I don't have any other movie news. Other than, oh wait, there's something I thought that you might want to talk about. The whole Captain America shit. Do you even know about that?
Oh, no, I don't really care.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone was like, "Oh, Chris Evans is gonna be Batman," or oh my gosh, he's gonna be Captain
do you have a
America
scoop
again.
that I don't know about?
Get it, Chris Evans, Flashpoint Batman. No, I all I saw, and if correct me if I'm wrong, everyone was like, "Oh my god, Chris Evans is gonna be Captain America again," and he's like, "That's news to me."
Yeah, but then people
like,
were like,
denying.
"Hey, but people have done this before. Actors have done." I'm like, "Who the fuck cares?" Chris Evans, if he just got his check and was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna be fucking Captain America again." Why would you want to be?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really care.
Oh, okay. I thought
mean,
you might, but
there's already a new Captain America. We don't need Chris Evans back.
who is Captain America?
Anthony Mackie.
Oh, but is he gonna be Captain America? I thought he was gonna be. Doesn't he have a guy?
He's Captain America. He's Falcon, but he passed the mantle down to him.
Oh,
Spoiler. I just watched that movie though. Those are other movies I watched. Did I say that?
you said that last week, didn't you?
We watched it again.
Again?
Yeah. And well, we watched the original Avengers and we were like, might as well watch the other one. That's a good movie. But let's talk about a better movie right after the break.
Amazing. An insurance salesman discovers his whole life is actually a reality TV show in The Truman Show. Directed by Peter Weir, written by Andrew Niccol, starring Jim Carrey, Ed Harris, and Laura Linney.
Happy birthday, Jim Carrey. At the time of recording, it's his birthday. So
Oh, yeah.
shout out to him. January 17th. Also Betty White's birthday.
Dang, how old is she?
99.
Damn.
Go Betty White. As for the estimated budget, around 60 million. Opening weekend, 31.5 million. US, it grossed about 125.6 million. And worldwide, 264.1 million. In other words, shit ton of money. A lot of money. Critics gave it an 8.1 out of 10 on IMDb, a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 90% on Metacritic. That's pretty high for IMDb.
Yeah.
I'm proud of them for that.
It's for Jim's birthday.
Yeah, shout out.
Oh, sorry. I coughed
Dude, all right.
into that.
Yeah, you coughed and then leaned away.
Do the Nolan method. Well, put all of our dialogue at like 2 and the cough.
I might do that actually. That'd be really funny.
Don't do that. People are going to piss.
I just put some like super French, like loud French horn music. Hans Zimmer style.
That'd be funny. Or just put the time we're talking about Tenet, just put it like at the lowest level. And then the Billy Blanks one at like 100.
Full blast. Right. What are these numbers, by the way?
What numbers? Oh,
You're
I don't know. I was
numbers.
just thinking that I said 10 and 100. I literally was just thinking that.
Yeah, just put it at 100. All right. Maybe that's what he told the like sound mixer. Yeah, just put the audio track, like the voice track on like 10, and
then the assistant's like, what do I need to do? And he's like, I don't know. He says different numbers every time. I don't know.
Oh my gosh. That's really funny.
And nobody wants to check with him because he gets mad if you like double check him.
I already told you 3 times.
He's like, if I say a 3, then it's a 3.
Sorry, you said a 5 last time. God, that's really funny.
We just want to know what the scale is, or like, is it like 0 to 10? Is it 0 to 100? If I have to repeat myself one more time. Okay, sorry.
Truman Show, let's go.
All right, so we start with the creator, who I forgot what his name was. Christoph, which is a very He's a very Christoph looking guy. So he's just talking about Truman, like the show and why they made a show like this. So we just start off just talking about, their fucked up, what's the word?
Like premise for the show?
Yeah, but just like, there's a word I'm thinking of, but we'll just skip it. And I put the full quote because I wanted to remember exactly what he said. So he said, "We've become bored with watching actors give us phony emotions. We are tired of pyrotechnics and special effects. While the world he inhabits is, in some respects, counterfeit, there's nothing fake about Truman himself. No scripts, no cue cards. It isn't always Shakespeare, but it's genuine. It's a life."
Yeah.
Get a life, dude. Come on. Like, I think I forgot just how fucked up this movie was. And yeah, I don't know. I think when I first watched it, or the last time I saw it, I was younger. Like, I don't know. I didn't have much opinions about this, but this whole movie just like, not the movie annoyed me, but I was very annoyed by like everybody in this movie, which I think is the correct reaction. But as soon as he said that, like, he's just, what a pretentious asshole.
Yeah.
And then after this, they have a bunch of other interviews of the actors in Truman's life, like his best friend, his wife. And it's just so strange to see them talk about him. And just it's like whenever they're trying to convince us what's happening, like, oh, it's a life. It's not like, he's saying it's genuine. Like, it sounds like they're trying to convince themselves of what they're doing.
It bothered me that they were all essentially like, oh, it's all real. Like, it's just controlled. Like, they use that word
of what his best friend said.
Oh, there you go. He bothered me the most. I hated that guy.
He said, "It's all true. It's all real. Nothing here is fake. Nothing you see on this show is fake. It's merely controlled."
Like,
you know what energy it is? It's like, it's when you like first start a job and they're like, "We're a family here. We love each other here."
Well, welcome to the Schlotsky's family, everyone.
Here, we treat everybody equal. We treat everybody like a family. But I swear to God, if you call in sick,
you have half a sick day for the entire year. All right.
But we're family, so just be open with us, like,
welcome.
That's the energy that this has. And we learned that we're on day 10,090 of
do the
Truman
math.
Life.
It's a lot of years.
I think I actually, I didn't do the math, but somebody did the math on IMDb.
It's 30.
Yeah, it's about to be 30 years. I think they said how many days it was, but he's close to his 30th birthday. And I think they said that there's also in the bar that they show that there's like a commemorative thing that says like the 30th anniversary, which is also fucked, where it's like his birthday, but they're like the 30th anniversary, like commemorative thing, right?
Yeah, there's a line somewhere where someone's saying like, it's like when they talk about like everything that they've filmed, where it's like, and we're coming up to the next milestone, 30 years, whatever.
Yeah,
it is 30 years.
Yeah. All right. So today, like I said, we're on day 10,090 and we start off with a bang. And that bang is that a light fixture falls from the sky. And Truman is like, what?
The sky is falling.
Exactly. And he's like looking up and he's like, what, where the fuck did that come from? And you can't really tell. Like, he looks at the light, like the lamppost, and it's perfectly fine. But we do see really quickly the way that this show operates. For example, the light thing, they took note of it and they covered it up by, I think, playing on the radio saying that it, like, an airplane had parts falling or something, which, I mean, I guess is smart, but like, it's clearly, like what are they called? Those lights that from like a set.
Yeah. It's clearly just a light fixture.
Yeah.
Besides that, I gotta admit, like, everything about the way that they operate the show is very, very smart.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
We'll get to it. I'll just say it now. Like, everything is an ad, pretty much. Like, everything in that little town you can buy. And I'm like, I was just very impressed with how they operate it. How pretty much everything is a camera. I mean, it's pretty obvious because like we see the same like enclosure in like malls, like the little black dome. We see that everywhere, but it's very smart.
I mean, they've had 30 years to perfect it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, there's these two guys that are like, it's like their job every day to push him in front of this ad. It's kind of like they like
aggressive
shove him into the wall.
Yeah.
And he's just like, okay, like, I mean, it's kind of hard for him to question it when that's all he knows, but and like I said, I just quickly, I'm like, man, this movie's fucked up. Because I watched it with Sebastian for the first time, and he was also like, yeah, this is weird. Like for instance, we see how, for one, he wants to leave, and he's like making plans to try to go to Fiji, but every step that he goes to like make those plans or to get out of there, any sign that he shows of him trying to do that, people just stop it as soon as it's happening. And the most fucked up thing is that they push him into a place, like a state of mind that is obviously triggering to him. So his boss has him like go, he wants him to go like meet somebody, but he has to take a ferry. And he is about to go, but then we see that he is like terrified, and he is like, for whatever reason, he's trying so hard to not go on this ferry. And we realize that it's because his dad died on a boat, like in a boating accident. He like drowned or something, right? And and the only reason, like, there was no actual client, obviously, and the only reason that his boss like sent him to do that was to get that dramatic reaction, which is so funny when you think about his first thing, like the guy, when he's like, it's not fake, it's just controlled.
Yeah, like that is like some heavy like controlling stuff right there.
To know that you're sending that person into something that is going to like fuck them up. And he was, I think after that, the reason that we know what happened is because they showed him at the beach looking at the water. Like, that's all he can think about is what happened to his dad. And he blamed himself because he
wanted to go.
And then I don't think I wrote this down. Oh, let me see. Yeah. So I didn't write this down, but after that, he goes to see his mom, I think. Oh, no, that's later. Never mind. So after that all happens, we have another malfunction, which is when it starts raining, but it only rains where he's at.
Yeah. And it like moves with him when he moves, and he's just like, what the hell? And I don't know if he realizes that it's like a little suspect that it's only raining in like a square foot like radius, or if he's just like, this is wild, like how is this happening? Or if he's just like amazed by it. I don't know. At that point, I wasn't sure if he was like, something's up with this. I felt like he was just more amazed.
I wonder, well, the way that he reacts to certain things, it feels like, well, first of all, that this can't be the only time something like this has happened, right? So it might be just like, to him, the equivalent of like feeling deja vu. You know what I mean? Like, or just something strange happening where, I don't know, just like a weird occurrence. Like if those happen every now and then, if it rains like that every now and then, and that's all you know, then, I mean, you're not going to question it too much. It might be a weird thing, but, and also
it's like normal.
And the actors in his life are trained to minimize every single thing that he's feeling. So if he's like, if he were to tell them something about that, they'd say, well, just like that happens sometimes. That happened to me once. Or, oh, like you're just having a hard time today. You know, they just like, it's like the gaslighting to the nth degree. It's so disturbing.
Ridiculous.
And so after this, another malfunction. I feel like there's just one after the other, but it's a huge one this time. So Truman sees his fucking dad, or like, I guess we should say that the actor that plays his dad. And like, as soon as he realizes it's him, a bunch of actors like start shoving him into a bus. It's a very chaotic scene. And then he goes to talk to his mom to tell her like, hey, I just saw my dad. And
It's so genius, like the way that they handle everything. Because she's like, "Honey, I see him all the time. I see him everywhere."
I know, and
In fact, I hugged someone at the salon earlier. Or I was like, "Damn, this is messed up," but just controlled.
But also, like, what fucks me up more was when she was like, "You see, I think you just are thinking about it too much or whatever." And it's because, or she said, because you, like, maybe you feel guilty because you wanted to go into the storm. I don't blame you. Like, she's like bringing it up, reinforcing bringing that idea into his head that he's crazy because he feels guilty. Like, it's just so messed up. Like, that's shit that he's gonna have to unpack for years after this. I mean, maybe not. Maybe not. He knows it's fake. It's a little different, but
maybe.
So weird. So after that, he goes into his basement, and there's a bed for some reason. I saw that and I was like, at first I thought that was his childhood bedroom, but that's the basement of the house that he lives in with his wife.
Yeah, I kind of figured because you can kind of tell as the movie goes on, just the relationship with his wife. Like, he's not like how you would treat a wife. I feel like he seems like,
yeah,
like kind of he's kind of aloof from her, I guess. And so I guess that made more sense to me that he has a bed down there. Sometimes he just probably wants to get away. Because, I mean, we learn later, it's just like the whole marriage is pushed on him. Like, he had pretty much no say.
Yeah, and I think I have a note about it later, but just the ethics of, the ethics of this entire movie, but the ethics of that, of basically prostituting her.
Yeah, I never realized that's pretty much what it is until you mentioned it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's very strange. It's an interesting topic to talk about, but I guess obviously when I was a kid, when I first watched this or the last time I seen this, I didn't think about that, but
yeah,
that is very strange. And so he's down in the basement, and while he's there and he makes sure that his wife isn't there, he pulls out a sweater. And we then cut to a scene in his past. And because even his memories are manufactured for television, so we have a nice little cut scene. And we see some of, this is the first time we've seen anything in his past where I think he's in high school at this time, high school or college or something. And he meets a girl, and the producers, you can tell they obviously do not want him to be with her. Because, like you said, they just keep shoving Laura Linney, I forgot her name, the wife's name, but they keep shoving her into his life. And it's really obvious, and it's like painfully obvious. But after this, he gets close to the girl. He it's like every now and then he'll see her and they'll have small interactions, but it's not until they see each other in the library and she's like, "We have to go now." And it's like a whole thing of them, running away from the cameras, and it's very sweet. I mean, it's very sad, but it's very sweet because I think the whole time I was watching him, his reaction to everything, and he was just having such a good time. He loved the fact that she was it seemed like it was a forbidden thing, but not in the way that he ever thought it would be. He was just so happy to be around her. And I think it was just so sad. Every time she was she would say something and she was really serious. She was like, "We don't have a lot of time." And he's like, "Well, why?" He just didn't understand what was happening. And he was just so happy to finally be talking to her. Oh, it was so sad. So she tries to tell him what's happening, but they instantly take her away using an actor that's playing her dad. And she's like, "I have no idea who the fuck this guy is." And it's also really sweet that after all these years, he loves her enough to where he keeps the sweater. So we learn that that's her sweater that she left behind. And he also, I think we see it at the beginning, but he's he's taking magazines and says that it's for his wife, but he's pulling certain features of women. And at first it looks very serial killer-y. It's very strange. He's just pulling.
I was say it's kind of creepy.
Yeah. But then we see
at first.
I mean, yeah, I don't think it's that creepy. I mean, now knowing like why, but so he's like putting together using these features, he's putting together what he thinks or what he remembers Sylvia, I don't know if I said her name, but Sylvia looking like. And it's pretty accurate. I don't know if you remember, but at least the eyes, he got the eyes perfectly.
Yeah, I remember, like, because it changes as he gets more magazines. I remember towards the end, it's like pretty
Spot
good.
on.
Yeah.
And all the while, to make it even worse, all the while, it's a television show. So she's watching it. Like, she's on the outside because, like we said, she got kicked out. And she's watching all this happen. She's watching, like, just that's so sad. Just put yourself in her shoes, just watching the person that you love, obviously still loves you and still thinks about you, and just watching them like go through that heartbreak of trying to find you. And the reason I think we see before that he keeps asking, or he keeps like inquiring about going to Fiji or trying to find somebody from Fiji. And it's because the actor that played her dad just said, "We're going to Fiji." And so he thinks that's where she is. And just seeing all that, I can't imagine being in her position. Just like watching that.
That sucks. That's a very, very sad situation.
Yeah. Ugh, so fucked. All right. So the next day, another malfunction. And this time it's the radio. So he's driving to work and the radio like messes up. And so he can hear whoever is like, I don't know what you would call them. I keep calling them producers because I don't know their titles, but you can hear somebody talking over the radio about his like whereabouts, like exactly what he's doing when he turns on a certain street. If he stops, like they're just pinpointing every single action that he's taking. Which would
scare the hell out of me. It would legit scare the hell out of me.
That would be so fucking scary. And then while he goes into, he's like freaking out. So he goes into another building and he tries to go into an elevator and he sees like this, I think it's called Crafty, but it's basically just like craft services that's behind a fake wall. And they put it back. Like it's just whoever, like at this point, somebody needs to get fired. Cause like, I know this is, like we said, this is a fuck situation, but if you're going to do a job, do it right. Like who is messing up this much?
They slipped so bad.
Yeah, I mean, on it, like he deserves to be let out at this point because at least if you're going to control a life, do it right. Come on,
come on, manipulate the right way.
Yeah, come on, don't half-ass shit. All right, so at this point, Truman is pretty on to them. Like he's questioning everything, and like we said, people are trying to gaslight him into saying like, no, it's fine. You're tired.
Stressed.
But he's not taking it. So he tries to leave. He tries his hardest, his darndest to leave. But they stop him at the travel agency that he goes to. The lady's just like typing. She
still has her like makeup bib on when she gets into the room. Yeah, it was a makeup bib. Wait, I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I accidentally muted myself. Is that what that was?
Yeah, it was a makeup. I mean, I think it was a makeup bib, unless she was eating something. That is
because I thought she was like eating lunch or something. Either way, that's
I think because they weren't expecting him to get there, and even like the posters are really funny, where it was like lightning going through a plane wing. It was like it could happen to you.
It was like in Mean Girls, when they have the sex ed talk, when he's like, don't have sex or you'll die. It's like that. Don't get on a plane or you'll die.
You will die. It's like, damn. All right.
And then he tries to go on a bus. Oh, poor Truman. And the bus just like breaks down. Or the guy that's driving it is just like, I don't know what the fuck he does. Maybe we should have consulted our mother because she used to be a bus driver, but I don't know what the hell he did. He messed up the bus somehow. Yeah. And then there's another scene where he's going insane. But like, honestly, yeah, I would.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. So, because there's a whole scene where he scares the shit out of his wife. And because he's like driving he's just like driving like recklessly. And he tries to drive away. He drives over a bridge, which is a very big feat for him because he just hates being over water.
Well, I mean, he kind of drove over it. He just like closed his eyes and floored it and his wife. Which is an awesome move, by the way.
I know. And I like the moment though when they did it and she was like, "Oh, you did it." Like she looked like she was genuinely happy for him.
Yeah.
I liked that moment, but fuck her.
It's all fake.
Yeah. And then he's stopped by a leak at the plant.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
And
when was there ever a plant there?
I was thinking about this because I forgot that this moment happened. I was like,
yeah.
Like, because everyone watches the show. Like, in this world, this is the biggest show of the world, pretty much. Like, he's one of the cast members or crew members says that he's like the most recognizable face in the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, someone's got to slip up and say his name because everyone watches it, even though they haven't met him. And that's what exactly one of the police officers do. They're like, "See ya, Truman," or whatever. And he's like,
that's what pushes him over the edge.
Yeah.
And he runs away, but the police get him. And there's a moment that's probably my favorite scene in this entire movie is when after they like the police take him and his wife home, and she's trying to like get back some sort of normalcy, I guess, but she's like, she does like an ad placement where she's like, "You know what you should do? You should have this coffee. I don't know.
Mocha Coco.
Oh yeah, Mocha Coco. And then she has like a whole, like, it's like an ad, like I said, an ad read. And he's like, who the fuck are you talking to? He doesn't say that, but he's like, who are you talking to?
Who was that for? No one's here. It's so funny.
He like looks around. Who the hell are you talking to? God, that made me laugh so hard. And then after that, it gets a little dark in this moment because he actually goes like pretty crazy, and he takes this like knife and he's threatening her. And yeah, he just scares the absolute shit out of her to the point where the actress breaks character and yells at the producers to do something. And he's like, "Who are you talking to?" And then the best friend comes and he like takes him away. And there's a really like, it's another great moment where he's like, his friend is actually saying a lot of great things where he's like it's pretty compelling and convincing. And he's just giving this amazing speech. And then at a perfect time, they cut to the director or the creator where he's just feeding him lines the whole time. Yeah. He's saying the entire thing. And I was like, man, like that was such a good way to edit that scene. Because
yeah,
I don't know if you felt that same way where you're like, man, maybe this guy does actually really like Truman, you know? I mean, he's known him for so long. You would think they'd be best friends, but then he can't even like comfort him. He has to have another person feed him the lines.
Especially when he's like towards the end where they do cut that, because they have like a large part of that speech where it's just him, just the friend. And towards the end, it's where they cut towards that. And he has the line where it's like, there is like, if everyone's in on it, then I have to be in on it. And I'm not in on it. Like there is no it.
He's like, "I would never lie to you, Truman."
Yeah.
And he starts crying.
He's like, I've been best friends with you since 7th grade. And it made me think, like, how did they cast this? Like, hey, 7-year-old, come here. You're going to be best friends with this guy who doesn't know he's being filmed all the time. Like that whole process must be weird.
Oh, and that's a good point because then I guess you think about the ethics of, I mean, the ethics of the actor, right? Where I kind of have this bad like picture in my mind of him because he's actively doing this to Truman, right? He's one of the people that's like keeping him from living an actual life. But like you said, he's known him for so long, and he's been, as we can assume, he's been there for so long, like maybe his entire life too. I mean, that's all he knows.
Well, I mean,
and he doesn't leave that I know of. I mean, maybe he does, but
I was thinking about that too, because like the wife is supposedly a nurse.
Yeah.
But like she could just be going and living a normal life for 8 hours or whatever her normal shift is.
Yeah, but like, I don't think she would though. Maybe she just gets at least she gets a break, maybe, if that's what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, doing something. She's definitely doing something other than being a nurse. Because did we talk about that scene?
No, I totally skipped it. But we can talk about it if you want.
I thought that's funny where they're doing a surgery. She's like, I need to get to work because I need to do a surgery. And the doctor, it's not a real surgery, obviously. And the doctor's like, scalpel, please? He's like nervous because he's not a real doctor. He's like, I'll do my primary incision. All nervous. I laughed at that part.
The wife's like, that's a really good job. Really good job. And I don't think they have any masks on. Like,
no, they do have masks.
Oh, okay.
They're like so nervous though. It's like so awkward too because they're like
Truman's just looking at it like, what the
fuck? that part made me laugh.
What's funny though is that if he didn't believe that was fake, but he's like that they're really bad at this. What would happen if he was sick?
I was thinking about that too. I think they'd probably have a real doctor.
I guess that's so strange.
Who does acting on the side?
Maybe. How interesting. All right, so after the speech, they decide to graciously reunite Truman with his dad. And they make a big old meal out of it. They have this like music queued up. It's fucked up.
And they like cut to the real world and everyone's like congratulating Christoph, like, oh, beautiful job. And
great job.
Everyone at that bar, the Truman bar, is like crying. It's like, it's beautiful. As side note, the people at that bar, like the two waitresses, never do any work. They're always watching the show.
And the guy doesn't say anything about it either.
Yeah.
He's just like, whatever. Yeah. God, this movie. So strange. So after this, we get to hear from Christoph for the first time. And it seems like the world is hearing from him for the first time too. And he has an interview with some guy where we learn that Truman was adopted by a corporation. He was the first child to be adopted by an entire corporation. And just the lengths that they go to keep him inside. Like, I think when he was a kid, they just did a bunch of shit to like scare him into staying there. We also have a moment where they say that a lot of people would try to tell him, like there was somebody that parachuted like into the set. There was a guy that was in a present when he was a kid.
Very impressive though.
Yeah, I mean, truly. And they also talk about, I don't think I wrote about this, but they talk about how the actor that plays his dad wasn't supposed to show up like that. He not stumbled onto set. He broke onto set and he, I guess, I don't know why they said that he did, but then they were like, well, it's might as well just work with him. Yeah. Because he was pissed. I thought they were going to say like, oh, he was mad because, he loves Truman and he wants to see him. I think he was just pissed that he got like ridden off of the show basically, which is fucked. And then we also learn that along with Sylvia, a number of people have been outspoken about his treatment. And we know this because she calls in and you can see like in her apartment and she's talking to Christoph. She's like yelling at him, pissed at him. And you see in her like little apartment that there's a bunch of posters of, Save Truman. And she's obviously, because she loves him, she's a part of the movement to probably get him out of there. Which I thought was interesting. And I think that's very true to what would actually happen, because there would be a ton of people that are like, this is really fucked up.
Yeah.
And all right, so back to Truman. He seems back to normal. He's, going about his day normally. He's just back to normal. And I think they said that his wife left him because I think the actress was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore.
Peace out.
And they were going to introduce a new love interest. And he, like, there was a moment too where he's also a good actor because it seems like he's interested in her. Yeah. I mean, he's playing it up to the cameras.
Yeah, I think he knows. He's just like, oh, I'm going to give these fools a show.
See, and that's the thing that like, that I noted where I was thinking about it today that you would think seeing his dad would, like, they did it so that they could kind of pacify him, right? Like, they thought, I think Christoph says, because his dad kind of spurred all of this to happen, that, well, to what they think, I think Truman always felt this way, but like his dad kind of kickstarted it. They were like, well, if we bring him back, then Truman will be back to his normal self. But I think that it, instead of what I started to realize, because I thought so too, and then I was thinking, but why after seeing his dad, would he not think that? Would he not be like, oh, it was just me? But it seems like instead it kind of confirmed his suspicions. Because if that were me too, I'd be like, there's no fucking way.
Yeah, I mean, I think Christoph said that he was going to explain it by like amnesia or whatever. But I think also like Truman's biggest fear was leaving, even though it was his like biggest hope. Because when he tried to leave, his dad died. Like, if he tried to leave the island and his dad died, I'd be pretty scared too. But like his dad came back, and I think all the evidence just started piling up, and his dad coming back was like him kind of overcoming his fear. He's like, I don't need to be here anymore. Like, I'm gone.
I mean, I guess there's no harm in trying like what he did. He escaped.
Yeah.
And like if it truly was in his head, then nothing would have happened. But so he escaped. He geniusly did it where he basically did like what people do when they sneak out, like when kids in movies, what teenagers do when they sneak out, they just like put a record.
A tape recorder?
That's playing him snoring, and he just put like a bunch of, I think it was like a snowman thing with a wig to look like it was him sleeping. And Paul Giamatti, maybe it was his fault because he is the one that's like, he's just sleeping. So you know what? He's probably the one that needed to be fired. So after this, they have a huge search party to find him. And it's like, when I say huge, it's huge because they fucking turned the sun on in the middle of the night, which is wild. Then after this, they like, after a while of trying to find him, the creator, Christoph, he finally finds him in the place that they would never expect him to be, sailing at sea.
The water.
And they have no way to stop him, really, other than to cause a really bad storm. And they knock him around a ton with this fucking storm, and they almost kill him to the point where Christoph is like, he keeps, because Truman keeps antagonizing him. He's like, "Is that all you got?" Or so, no, he doesn't do that. He does something like that.
Yeah, he says like, bring it on, pretty much.
Oh, and then he said, "If you want me," or he said, "You're gonna have to kill me," or something, right?
Yeah, he does say
Christoph off. He's like, "You know what? Then I will." And Paul Giamatti, he does a great performance in this because he's like he's like on the verge of tears, not wanting to do what
this guy doesn't even care.
Yeah, it's I liked that though, where like,
yeah,
I mean, it's really fucked up, but you can tell, at least the people that are watching him, all of them care so much about him.
Yeah, those two grandmas, the old
guy
ladies
that was in the tub when he was like, "Hold on," and he was holding on to the
Oh my god, that was like so random, so unnecessary, but I loved it so much.
Yeah, and it really made me nervous because he kept falling asleep in the tub.
And he had like the TV right there and his remote, like all these electronics,
just asking for it. And then he makes it to the end of his world. He knocks into the little sky, like painting. It's very convincing, by the way. And he finds some steps. He takes, or I don't know if I said, but they stopped the storm. And he gets out of the boat and he can walk on the fucking water. And he finds steps. And he is talking to the creator. The creator goes on, I keep calling him the creator. That's what he calls himself, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's what everyone calls him.
Well,
he's Christoph, and oh my gosh.
Please talk about it. This seems like you had a very strong opinion about this.
It was disgusting.
It was so strange. He had he was like,
He
Him.
was hunched over his little tablet, like an uncomfortable amount of curl in his spine. I hated watching that so much. Like, why did no one stop him from doing
in the
that?
part too where he was talking to Truman and then he like rubbed his like hair on the screen.
And his like nails, you could see
I
him.
mean, to be fair,
He's like-
long ass nails. To be fair, I do that every time I watch a movie with Jim Carrey in it. So
Truman, oh Truman, Truman, Truman.
when I was watching it, I just whispered, "Happy birthday."
Happy birthday.
It was so weird.
I'm gonna turn the volume down right there. I'm gonna turn it to 1. I want people to really listen to to be focused to our podcast.
To be really angry.
I had to talk about that because it bothered me so much.
But
how he was just,
I think the thing that bothers me too is that, have you seen on TikTok when people are like, you really thought you did something, huh? Like that's what it felt like with this guy, because he was like, I know you better than I know myself. Like he just kept saying all this shit, like cringy shit to him, like shit that like, I don't know, he's just so creepy. And I that's what I kept thinking. I'm like, man, you really thought you did something, because he looked like he thought he got to him, and he was like, he's gonna stay. He loves this world. He why would he want to leave? Yeah,
and his point. I hate it. Oh, you go.
No, you go, please.
I hated his point where it was like, why would you want to go into the real world where you're going to be afraid of everything, and like, why not stay here in this perfectly crafted world that I made specifically for you, where you don't have to be afraid, where everything's for you. I'm just like he knows nothing else. Like, how are you going to know what's best for him when he doesn't even know what else is there?
Also,
out there?
You made him scared of water.
Yeah.
You can control if you want him to be scared of a dog. If you want him to be scared of thunder, like if you want him to be scared of shit, then you can control that. What kind of life is that? And he obviously doesn't like it. Like if you like it, okay, you fucking live in there, Christoph. You go to a fake job every day. God, this guy's fucked up. But anyways, after that, Truman just looks at the camera and he just says his iconic phrase. I forgot what it was. I think it's, if I don't see you,
good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
And then he fucking
which is like iconic.
But that's iconic, his iconic phrase. But also I fucking love after he did that, he bowed. He like took a bow and then he left. And that's what I hope happens, because obviously we don't see after that what happens. Because the last scene is we see Sylvia running out of her apartment. We don't really see where she lives, but she's presumably going to meet him or trying to find him. But what I love and what I'm going to choose to believe is him bowing is the last time anybody ever sees him, ever.
No, he becomes a Twitch streamer. That would be hilarious. Oh, no, I hope that is. That would be perfect.
A perfect way to end it.
And after that, which I felt like they should have just ended it right there. Just him bowing and leaving. But they show like everyone who is watching the event, because it's like the Super Bowl times infinity. I just like how there's like 2 security guards who are watching, and they're like, all right, what else do you want to watch? Like,
no,
just like move on.
I love that they showed that, because I think,
like, who cares?
Exactly. And at least for Christoph, like just that, I'm gonna keep saying it, where he's like, oh, he really thought he revolutionized TV. People are just gonna move on to the next shit. Like nobody actually cares that much.
Yeah.
Audiences are fleeting. That's why what he should have done was just turn the audio down.
Gotta make them focus. Gotta make them focus.
I could make out every single word that Truman said. Why? Make us work.
Why would I want that? You gotta make the audience want it. You gotta make them really want it. God.
I will never get over that. That's so fucking funny. That's a TikTok. Just making
I thought of a TikTok. I gotta tell you after this.
Okay. All right.
It's not good for an audio podcast. You'll see.
Okay, so I did want to talk about a deleted scene.
Oh, yeah.
A deleted scene reveals that Truman had not realized what was going on. Christoph and network execs were going to broadcast the main show and its spin-off on a 2-channel format. The main show following Truman and the spin-off following his unborn child, repeating the cycle all over again.
It would have never ended.
Oh, man.
Oh, I hated so much when Christoph was like, I am convinced that I will be the first to air the TV's first conception or something like that.
Creepy.
I was like,
do you want to?
Gross. Gross.
I don't think anybody
if I was the interviewer, I would have said that. I would have said, gross. Moving on.
Ew. And the last thing I had is, before like fun facts, is that the sad part to me is I like to believe that he started to live, a normal life of anonymity. But people I think like one of the actors said, he's one of the most famous or most recognizable people on the planet. So people are always going to know who he is. Yeah. And celebrities are not given, the opportunity to be anonymous after a certain point. So I'm sure him and Sylvia find a way, but
they do.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I do want to bring up something that the past few episodes we forgot, in true fashion of ours, I think, where we're like, we should start doing this, and we do it twice and then stop. But I forgot to ask, what prop would you steal? I think for the last 2 episodes.
Oh, okay. Let's do it real fast. Soul, I'd steal the Earth patch.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I'll say that too. No, I want his piano.
Okay.
I can manage that.
And from Sound of Metal, I'd want one of the posters of them that they have in the RV or the Airstream.
I'd want a drumstick.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
2 of them. Okay, for this one, I want the Moco Coco. What's that?
I want his. That's a good one. Are you gonna actually like eat it or drink it?
No, I just want I'm sure there's nothing in it. I just want the can or
the slicer.
No, I want the Moco Coco because I love that scene.
I want his ring. The ring that he has.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Or any of his outfits, because he has some dope ass fits.
Oh yeah, he does. Sebastian and I paused and we were like, fit check every time. He has great hair too. Jim Carrey just has really good hair. All right, so a couple of fun facts. Or do you want to do? I never know how to do this part. I do fun facts and then we'll do final thoughts. How about that? Because there's a few. All right, so the film is studied in media ethics courses, particularly focusing on the characters of the creator Christoph, best friend Marlon, and the quote-unquote prostituting of Truman's wife Meryl. Meryl was her name. That's a very interesting. That would be cool to take, a media ethics.
That would be like how it's portrayed, or like because the same thing with the best friend, like Meryl, the wife. Like they had to they started in high school. So it's like it must have been like a contract. You're going to seduce this man. You're going to marry this man. And eventually you will air the first TV conception. So it's like, how do you do that approaching like a 17-year-old or whatever age she was?
Yeah.
That's weird. And how do you say yeah to that?
That's so true. And yeah, and you're married. And he thinks it's real.
Well, are they? Because she kind of like crosses her fingers during.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that too. That's so funny.
They're like, in the picture. All right, We're going to pretend that you're married just as long as you cross your fingers through the entire ceremony.
I mean, I don't think
You're
a
good.
crossing of the fingers will stand up in court, Anthony. So
Is it legal binding?
Yeah, come on.
Exhibit A, this picture shows that I am crossing my fingers.
And the audience goes, is that your TikTok idea?
No, that's not my close.
Right.
That's a funny one, though.
Write it down. All right. According to a 2008 New York Times article, psychologists in Britain and U.S. reported a number of people experiencing a Truman syndrome or the Truman Show delusion. The belief that they are the unwitting star of their own reality TV show. Reportedly, many afflicted specifically mentioned the film in therapy. More recently, on September 16, 2013, the detailed account of one... Why does it say it like that? The detailed account of one Ohio student who suffered for years from the Truman Show delusion was documented in the New Yorker magazine article Unreality Star by Andrew Marinatz. I think this is the same guy where he climbed. So he climbed the Statue of Liberty, believing that his high school girlfriend would be at the top, which was the key to was the key to him being able to leave the show.
Wow. That's pretty interesting. That's like every time I watch a movie, I feel like I take something from that movie. You know, like I feel like I could do something. Like Kayla and I, when we watched Creed, we felt like we could box, you know? I feel like that happens. This is just like to the nth degree. You know, watch Good Will Hunting, you think you could be a mathematician. You know, like stuff like that.
Yeah,
just me.
Sure. Yeah, I watched Cars the other day.
Ka-chow. Let's go. Moving on.
No, I know what you mean. There's a lot of TikToks about that where I saw one the other day where somebody was like, when you, after, I missed the feeling of going to a movie and when you're walking out of the movie theater, like acting like you're the main character. You
just feel like a better person. You're just a different person.
You're like, I could be Iron Man if I really tried.
I could invent time travel. I said that we were watching it. I was like, because I was working on our website and we were watching it with her siblings. I was like, what if I just invented time travel right now? Like, what would you guys do? And they were like, right now on your laptop? I was like, yeah, what if I did it? They're like, I don't know.
Man.
Moving on.
What if? All right, Peter Weir, who was, I think, the director, had planned for projectionists to stop the film at one point during all screenings and cut to video shot by cameras installed in every theater, then cut back to the movie. To make things even more meta, he flirted with the idea of playing Truman's director, Christof, himself. The idea, that's genius. I wish they would have found a way to do that.
That would have been very expensive, I feel like.
Yeah, but worth it.
That would have, like full immersion. But after that, you would feel like such a side character leaving this movie.
You're like, wait, am I Marlon? Am I the bus driver? Wait, am I the travel agent? Imagine that. Not thinking that you're the...
I don't even know what you're laughing.
Just like that.
Just being a side character.
Yeah, just like dreaming of being the side character. This was really funny to me. The large black diamond on Truman's ring is a camera. So,
you know, I was hoping they would cut to it. Like I figured it was one because like it had the same like dome shape.
Well, I guess I'm stupid because when I read that, I was like, "Oh my god!" And I told Sebastian that, and he was like, "Yeah, it looks like a camera."
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Oh man, I'm dumb. All right, so people on the set were forbidden from uttering phrases from Jim Carrey's past silly movies.
That would be hard.
I was thinking too, like I was laughing at myself when we were watching it when I read this, because I was like, I would want to fit it in somehow.
Do not pass go.
To be like, no, I think I would like do like if I was like a PA and I was taking his order for like something, and he's like, yeah, I'll have pepperoni pizza. And I'm like, alrighty then.
Oh, just like no flair to it, like none of the Jim Carrey.
I can't think of any other ones, but
the only one I thought of was Do Not Pass Go.
Do not
collect 200.
I don't know how you'd fit that in, but that'd be a fun game. I'm sure somebody.
Maybe you're playing Monopoly.
Maybe, but people were forbidden though. Do you think I'd get kicked off set?
I feel like you could have an argument if you just say already then, because like you don't do like the you don't do the whole like alrighty, like you don't do the whole Jim Carrey thing. Like that's just a phrase.
Yeah, but
it's not a silly.
I'm hoping somebody did that. If not, then why even be in the movie business if you're not gonna fuck around with the actors? All right.
I wonder if he asked for it.
Probably. I mean, this is like a pretty dramatic role.
Yeah.
All right. Alrighty then. When Gene Sickle and Roger Ebert reviewed the film oh my God, I can't fucking talk today. When Gene Sickle and Roger Ebert reviewed the film on At the Movies, they not only gave him the 2 thumbs up, the famous 2 thumbs up, but they gave an on-air apology to Jim Carrey for saying that he would never have a career when they panned Ace Ventura: Pet Detective.
Wow.
That's so funny. And last one, in an early scene, a bottle of vitamin D is on Truman and Meryl's kitchen table, and that vitamin is needed for those that don't have exposure to the real sun.
I didn't catch that. That's a fun fact right there.
There you go. That is the Truman Show.
The music is really good too. I haven't talked about music in a very long time, but the music was very well made for it. I saw because Amazon does a cool thing where they show the actors in the scene and they have some fun facts that correlate to whatever scene, but they also have the music. And I saw, I like tried to find it on Spotify and I found it, but they didn't have any of the songs that I wanted to talk about. Well, like, specifically when Sylvia leaves her apartment, like running, they play a Philip Glass song. And I love Philip Glass. He's one of my favorite composers. Shout out to him. I'd love to have him on the podcast. Man, imagine a double feature back to back.
I can't and I won't.
Billy Blanks, Philip Glass.
I think Billy Blanks is out after hearing that we butchered his name.
Cut it and I'll Blanks. Oh, I did it.
Do that one. Just a clean blanks. Wait, can you actually do that?
I can do that.
Do it, please.
I need a couple blanks from you, but
blanks. Keep it in.
Blanks. Yeah, I'll leave all this in. Okay. That's really funny.
But that'd be funny to but make it super obvious so people are like, "What the fuck is that?" And then they won't know until now that we did that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I didn't even realize that. Okay, yeah, that's funny.
Sorry, your audio is way off of what I see.
Oh.
Okay.
What do you want me to do?
I don't know. I was waiting for it to go back into sync. It's good now. All right. Yeah. Sorry. I really love this movie. I forgot how much I liked it.
I really like it too. Kayla doesn't. I didn't ask why.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Wait, why don't you like the Truman Show?
I've only seen it once.
She's only seen it once. I liked it after the first time I watched it, but she never watches the movies with me. I always watch them by myself before the podcast.
Do you watch it? I picture you watching it like the creator, just like.
Oh my gosh! Just
That's why
no.
Kayla doesn't want to watch it with you because you're scaring her.
I don't want to watch movies with you, freak.
You fucking weirdo. She's like, I can't see anything because you keep touching the actor's hair. You keep rubbing the screen.
No.
You keep covering Robert Pattinson's face. How am I supposed to fucking see?
I love this movie. I love this movie. It's such a fun movie that makes you think. I mean, it's a lot of messed up ethics that I hope never happens in the real world. Just the amount of money that it makes to put on a production like that, because it's like they show the thing and it's like visible from outer space.
Oh yeah.
But I think it's an awesome movie. I like it so much.
You know what the creepy part that it makes me think of is it kind of reminds me of like family vlogs, family channels.
The Ace Family.
Just like channels like that, where, I mean, the kids know that they're filming, so it's a little bit different, but it does, like, the ethics part of it made me think of that, where a lot of people are having the conversation of, like, is it ethical to film your kids at such a young age that they can't even consent to it? Like, imagine if our parents started, like, filming our entire lives, not only that, but putting it out and monetizing it. And especially, like I think, have you seen This Is Where I Leave You? It has like Jason Bateman, Adam Driver.
Yeah.
So a big thing about that movie is that the mom is a therapist and she's written a couple of books and she details like her kids' lives. Mm-hmm. And not even just like, I don't know, just not even like little things, but she talks like specifically like embarrassing shit about her kids and she puts it in the book. And that's kind of the same thing where like, and they show that they're embarrassed by it and they always talk shit about it and they hate it. And I mean, that's kind of similar to like, I mean, it's not a Truman Show-esque kind of thing, but like.
It's in the same vein, I'd say.
Yeah. Especially when you're so young and you don't know, like that's what I was thinking of. Like some of these people, some of these YouTubers, they'll start filming kind of like not from conception, obviously, but from like the time they find out they're pregnant and then they like detail the kid's like entire early life. When at that point does the kid start to realize that they're being filmed? Like, when are you aware of that?
When a light fixture hits the ground from the sky above, I don't know. It does.
It's very strange. If you think about it in that context, that's creepy.
Yeah, I guess it's already kind of happening. Something similar at the very least, not to the extreme where it's like. I mean, it's still. I guess some of those parents would probably say that their lives are a little bit controlled.
Well, I mean, you would have to think so if they're trying to like create content. I mean, there's no way that they didn't have certain episodes or I don't know what you would call them, certain videos where they manufactured like what's happening, you know?
That was very interesting. It was a good episode. I'll say it.
Oh, like our...
Oh yeah, our episode, our podcast. I'm happy with this one.
I thought you like meant to say movie, but you said episode.
No. Like, it's a good movie. And I feel like ultimately the movie makes it a good episode because
I'm gonna say it. This is the Truman Show of podcasts.
Official.
Yeah, but it's interesting to think about, especially when stuff involves kids and like, you know, the ethics of that, where we're like, that would be crazy if this happened when, like you said, it's like it's kind of already happening. Yeah.
Oh.
Good movie. Let us know what y'all
go watch it. Yeah, please.
All right, you ready for what I'm picking for next week? I'm very excited about this movie because I've heard about it and I didn't realize that. I thought like it was one of those where it was announced and it's going to be out whenever we can go to theaters, but it's out now and it came out like I think a couple of days ago. Whoa. And it's on Amazon Prime and it's called One Night in Miami. Directed by Regina King.
Yeah, I follow her on Twitter. I saw like her tweet a bunch of stuff about this.
Yep. And I've heard it's very good. And I'll give a little synopsis. I don't know. I hadn't heard too much about this movie, but it's about, let me see. In the aftermath of Cassius Clay's defeat of Sonny Liston in 1964, the boxer meets with Malcolm X, Sam Cooke, and Jim Brown to change the course of history in the segregated South. That's how you say it, right? Cassius?
I wouldn't know.
All right. Well, I'm excited because
Yeah.
we're going to learn some history. I'm going to do like a little profile of each of these people so we can understand like who they are and why it's important that they all gathered together in this movie. I think I want to say, well, I guess I won't say that. I at least have never seen anything directed by Regina King. I'm assuming she directed an episode or two of Watchmen. Do you know?
I don't know.
Either way, Regina King,
She's
I love
good.
her. She's an icon. Alrighty.
Follow us on Twitter. What is our Twitter?
Let me scroll up. Hold on.
At Bro Sis Show. Twitter, Instagram at Brother Sister Show. Do that, please.
And let us know what movies you want to watch. I put out a thing the other day, and I'm sorry I saw those, and I hope that people weren't expecting me to pick them just yet, but we hadn't asked in a while, so we got some good suggestions though. Some that haven't been out yet, but a good reminder of like to watch whenever they come out because of HBO. And Netflix is also releasing a ton of, I think they said every week they're releasing a new episode, a new movie. Something
awesome.
like that. So there's a ton of movies to pick from. So a ton of stuff that we'll be able to watch like as soon as it's released. Like this movie, I think it was released like 2 days ago or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's it.
Good episode.
Great episode. See you next time for an even better one.
Bye.